Hey Verld, jeg heter Zack the Demon Lord. Hey world, it is I, Zack the Demon Lord, and yet again another YouTube video. It hasn't been too long, but it has been a little bit since I made a video, so I decided I would put out some new videos. So yeah, I will be trying to put out a few within the next few days. Probably videotape them all today, and then over the trickle of time get those out. Now the first video I will be making will be its own topic, and then the next few videos will be on a collective of different topics. But yeah, let's start with this first one, shall we? And so, as the title of this video might suggest, for this video I wish to discuss nothing else but anime figurines. Yes, anime figurines. That holy grail of an item a lot of people like to collect nowadays. At least if you're into anime like I am. You definitely collect them. But yeah. So let's, over the video, I will go over to, the kinds of anime figurines, but mainly where to get them and some facts of that. So yeah. So to start, just like with anything else, there are two ways to get anime figurines. First way, it's pretty obvious. You go to a store in person. And second way is you buy them online. Now, yeah, let's go over the first part, the in-person. And so, I want to first, though, just say, this video is meant to be in the perspective if you're buying anime figurines as an American, or at least someone living in America. If you're living in the United States, this is for you, and this is the type of perspective. Yeah, of course, some of this might still cross over if you live in the UK or somewhere in Europe or Australia or something. But I am specifically sharing this in the perspective of an American that lives here in the United States. And so, yeah. Also, this is in the perspective of an American that lives in a rural area. My area is rural by some standards. Where I am at, it's a big place for my general area, but I know compared to some of the big cities, you just scoff it off and be like, big? What do you mean? Anyways, so yeah. Yeah, so this will be especially from the perspective of someone that lives in a rural area, and so let's get into that. So anime figurines. The first place that comes to mind, where no matter where you are, you can get anime figurines. Well, granted that they have them in stock because it depends on which location, but depending on where you are, you can go and get an anime figurine at Walmart. So let's go into that. It depends on the Walmart, but if you go back into your technology section of Walmart, by the video game area, sometimes, depending on the store, just because anime is getting more popular, they'll have an anime section. Where you can buy all your favorite animes on DVD or Blu-ray, and then sometimes they'll have anime collector items. And so this is one place you can buy anime figurines. Now, here's the deal though. If you go to a Walmart and buy an anime figurine, typically, pretty much 99% of the time, it's going to be the lowest quality anime figurines. You're going to get the $20 to $40 ones that are very cheap. Also, these sort of anime figurines are not only, you know, cheaper looking, but they're mass produced, and it's for the big, like, anime. So you're not going to get anything special. It's just very generic, which, you know, it's fine if you're starting out. So you can get your, you know, Dragon Ball, One Piece, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, these sorts of anime figurines. But yeah, that is the first place that you can get anime figurines. The second place, and this will probably come as a shocker to some of you, that you can get anime figurines, believe it or not, is at Barnes & Noble. Of course, I don't know about all Barnes & Nobles, but most of them will probably have a manga section like mine does, where you can get the mangas. And they will also have some collector items, usually, and they will have anime figurines of some of those collector items. Now, like Walmart, a good portion of them are the cheap $20 to $40, just very basic anime figurines. However, they can get some medium level ones that are kind of like the $40 to $80 range sort of anime figurines. I have seen like a few of them, like I think for like Bleach and Death Note and stuff like that. But yeah, that is another place in the States where you can get anime figurines. Outside of that, it's really just dependent on your area. Comic book stores would probably be the next best bet if you're in the States, if you have one in your area. The last thing I could think of is if you live in a big city like New York or LA, you might have a shop that is just purely an anime shop, or a manga shop, or an anime figurine shop, or maybe you could buy more different kinds of anime figurines. But yeah, if you're in the States, those are your main options. The only other option you would really have in person, which I don't know why you would do this, just for the sake of getting yourself an anime figurine, but the only other choice you would have would be to go directly to Japan or South Korea. I will mention I lived in South Korea, and they had a pretty decent selection of anime figurines. I found quite a few different anime shops or manga shops or what have you, and they would have a pretty good selection. But obviously, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you want your blessed Japanese anime figurines, the best place would probably be Japan. Of course, why you would solely go to Japan just to get some figurines, I don't know why you would do that. You could just do the second option, so let's get into that. Ordering your anime figurines online. Okay, let's get into this. So, I wish to start by discussing the main website that will get sponsored and that you'll probably use to get your anime figurines. And that would be there's a website called Otaku Mode. There we go. It just totally blanked on my mind, but yeah, Otaku Mode is the main place you'll see get sponsored, and probably the main place most Americans would prefer to get the figures off of. And so let me kind of describe how this website works. So basically, on Otaku Mode, it's more than just anime figurines. You can get some other anime collectibles. But it is mainly anime figurines, and I will discuss kind of like the different little pieces of this website. And so the first thing is first, you would make yourself an account, which, like any other website, is pretty self-explanatory. You know, put in your payment method and all that, and then you just kind of, you know, look on the site and find the anime figurines you want. They have pretty much anything and everything you would want. So feel free to look on the website. you could look up specific animes, or look up specific characters you're wanting, or just even look in keywords. For example, if you wanted a succubus figurine, just look up succubus. If you wanted, I don't know, a goblin figurine, you would look up goblin, and you'll find pretty much anything you want. Now, another thing with this website is that I will mention is the cost. And so, unlike a lot of websites, and this is the reason why I think Americans would prefer to shop off of Otaku Mode, it's purely meant for English speakers, this website. It's only in English, to my knowledge. There might be another version for like Chinese or something, but the primary customers that they're trying to reach are the English-speaking ones, especially the ones that live in America, because they also display all the figurines in the monetary unit called the American dollar. And so it lets you know everything, the prices of everything in the amount of dollars. I will mention, if you do shop off of the site, personally I don't shop on the site if I can help it. The figurines I have noticed they're not terribly priced, but I know there's other places I could get them for a little bit cheaper. So that is one thing. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the shipping costs on the site. The shipping costs tend to be, in my opinion, a little bit more spendy than some of the other websites. However, they do offer free shipping if you happen to basically buy if you get a few figurines that come out at the same time, or if you buy one figurine, but whatever the case is, your total cost is worth more than, I forget if it's 100, 150, or 200, but somewhere in that range. If you pay over a certain limit, you get free shipping. Probably not too foreign of an idea, but that is, that is how that works. However, I do want to mention with the shipping, if the figurine, so this is another thing where it's like a English speakers based sort of company. They have two main warehouses, one in Japan, one here in the US, I think somewhere in California. If it's in the US stock, that free shipping, of course, will just be like UPS or normal postal service or something. However, if it's something that's only in Japan currently, the free shipping does not. It might be a problem for you, is what I'm trying to get at, because it'll be by boat, and so it could take you 2 to 4 months to get that package. So do beware of that. It might take some time for you to get the figurine if it's from Japan, because that's the only free shipping option if it is in Japan, is having it come by boat. So yeah, do look out for that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much most of the information you would need to know currently. We'll come back to Otaku Mode when I get to the end of talking about online shopping for anime figurines. The second place that I personally would suggest more than Otaku Mode is to go to a website called AmiAmi, which is AMI. AmiAmi is one of the best, if not the best, website for getting anime figurines. The scary thing for, I think, most people is that all the prices are going to be displayed in, shocker, Japanese yen. Most anime websites will be like this. It'll display the price first in Japanese yen. However, unlike some of them, it doesn't just display in Japanese yen. If you click on a figurine and look very carefully, it will also roughly estimate how much they'll charge you in US dollars. So yeah. This website, kind of like the other website, works fairly similarly. You know, you just order the figurine and then, yeah, yada yada. Now I will say with this website, if you do order multiple figurines, they do automatically give you an option to either have everything shipped separately or together. You get to choose how you want that shipped to you. However, if you do that, just be aware that the shipping costs will be more, because if you do it separately, they have to, you know, ship you 2 different boxes, and so that is one thing to look out for. But it's not that big a deal also, because with this website, I have found that the shipping costs are generally fairly cheaper than if you buy off of Otaku Mode. Also, all the prices for the figurines are quite a bit cheaper, just because they charge you, if not at, pretty near Japanese prices for the figurines. Unlike the other website, I think because it's mainly supposed to be a US thing, probably has some sort of like import fluctuation costs going on. Anyways, so as an example of this, if you shop on AmiAmi, you could get like your cheap $50 figure for $50, and then cheap by, you know, I'm just saying, by Anime Figurine standards, that's cheap. You could get it for $50 on AmiAmi, but then go on Otaku Mode, get the same figure for like $60. So it's kind of like a give and take thing. Choose what you want. I prefer AmiAmi because I want the better deal. And this is especially important when you get to the more expensive figurines. For example, let's say a figurine is going for $200 on AmiAmi. That same figurine on Otaku Mode could cost maybe $240 or something. So do look out for that. Let's see. Also, with both websites, I will say when you buy figurines, you do get some store points back. For Otaku Mode, it just gives you a certain amount of dollars that you can then use towards your next purchase to get, you know, some of the price taken off. For AmiAmi, they give you points back that reflect in yen, so like 1 point equals 1 yen, and so that is one thing. Let's see, what else? So yeah, we went over points. Let's go over differences, I think, of the sites. So one thing is with Otaku Mode, all the figurines are, for better or worse terms, we'll call them family-friendly figurines. Now, obviously, not all of them are family-friendly, but in the grand prospect of things, they are. All the figurines on Otaku Mode are just like straight up like going to be labeled as anime figurines. Now, with AmiAmi, and this is one reason people like AmiAmi too, depending on where you are, AmiAmi is, and for just to make it more relatable, AmiAmi is kind of like Spencer's. If you go into a mall and go to a Spencer's, in the front of a Spencer shop, there's some, you know, things in there in the front, but you know, there's a bunch of cool stuff. But then you go in the back and you find all the adult products, shall we say, the spicy underwear and the other stuff back there. AmiAmi is kind of the same. Overall, you know, obviously, with anime figurines being the bulk of the anime figurine scene, most of them are going to be anime figurines, but then you could also buy the Dojin figurines. In other words, the spicy stuff. So yeah. Now, I do want to go over just a little bit how that works, because I'm going to try to use safe vocabulary, but let's go over that. And so, with normal anime figurines, there are, pieces and parts that can't come off. But if you do happen to want to be a connoisseur of the Dojin figurines, let me just say that there are multiple types of Dojin figurines. They definitely span a lot more types. And so there are some that just have a bajillion pieces. Well, not like a bajillion, but like each and every little piece comes off. And this is especially with what are called cast-off figurines. And so cast-off figurines, what happens is that the clothing of the figurine can actually come off to, and then so you can either have your figurine be clothed or not. It's totally up to you. And then another thing that can sometimes happen with your figurine is that they will literally give you two bodies for your figurine. So it's like having two figurines for the price of one. Sometimes they'll send you like a clothed body and an unclothed body. And depending on what you want out on your shelf, you can choose between the two. So there's that. The rare method that I have seen, and this only applies to one part of the body, I have seen I have one figurine, and this surprised me when I saw it. That, for lack of better terms, the chest part was a magnet. And so they have a covered one, a covered version, and an uncovered version. And so, depending on what kind of chest scene you feel like showing off on your shelf, bookshelf or whatever, you can have either magnet piece in. But yeah, there's a multitude of different types of those figurines. They come in many shapes, sizes, and types. But yeah. Let's see. The next important topic I want to discuss, just because it's fairly important for some people, is the idea of pre-ordering. So let's discuss that. So figurine is coming out into the scene, and it's been released. It's confirmed that it's a project that's going to happen, right? You want to pre-order it. And so let's discuss how that works on both websites. If you go onto Otaku Mode and pre-order something, and this is an important distinction, is on Otaku Mode, if you go on there, they will charge you up front. They'll say, okay, here's the total, give us the money. And so you give them the money right then and there. Now on Ami, what happens is you say, hey, I would like this figurine. And so it submits in and says, okay, here is your order receipt. And then you do not get charged right then and there. What happens is you get charged when that figurine actually comes out. And so that is one thing to look out for. Now, let's say you don't have the funds quite yet. When it does come out and they send you a bill for the figurine, they will give you up to 1 week to pay the bill. One thing I do want to specify as far as payment goes, make sure that your credit card or whatever you're using has 3D Secure. Ami has a protection layer thing that requires you to have 3D Secure on your card. If you do not have that, there'll be an error or it just won't go through. Now, occasionally, and I have had this happen, you get errors anyways. If you end up getting errors anyways, all you have to do is select PayPal for your payment method, and then pay that way. I know that's not a great route either, because if you do pay with PayPal, what can sometimes happen, depending on your bank, is that your bank will think you're being scammed or something, or someone has somehow stolen money, or use your card or whatever. So that is one thing I don't like with using AmiAmi, is sometimes that happens. Let's see, is there anything else I need to discuss? I think that is pretty much the bulk of what you need to know. So yeah. Hey guys, sorry, I forgot to mention one thing with the pre-orders, which I wish to tell you now. And that is one thing to look out for, is when the figure comes out. Um, and some information about that. So sometimes your figure will come out when it says it'll come out. Let's say it says it comes out in January, and sometimes it actually does. But one thing to look out for is that sometimes it can take multiple months for it to come out. And so you're waiting till February, March, April, May, June, sometimes up to July or past for a figure that comes out in January. So do look out for that if you do pre-order something. That can be an effect, especially when you also have to wait for the shipping. Let's say you choose the boat method for the shipping, and then instead of waiting, let's say you wait 6 months already for it to come out, and then you're also waiting um, 2 to 4 months extra for it to actually get to you, plus uh, the already anticipated time you waited till that January. So sometimes it could take you up to a year to get a figurine. So yeah, just keep that in mind as you're buying these figurines via pre-order. I guess last thing being last, if you don't find what you need on any of those websites, let's say it's an older figure that has been out for a few years and has sold out on every other platform, I will say there are other platforms, other websites you can use. I don't use them too much. I have here and there. But last ditch effort, if you want, just like with anything else, you can go onto eBay, is what I would first suggest, and then Amazon. If you do go on either site though, especially Amazon, beware, there are a lot of Chinese scammers on those websites. So really pay attention to the price. If the price sounds like a dream, it probably is a dream, and you're getting scammed. If your $150 figurine miraculously costs $40, that should be a red flag. I have fallen for that before. So I'm telling you, just by having fallen for that. Now, I didn't fall on eBay, but rather a Chinese website that popped up that made itself look legit. But yes, be careful if you are on either sites. But if it looks legit, it might be legit. The only problem I have with those websites, of course, if you really want this figurine and that's the only place you can get it. But they do tend, the sellers on there do tend to have really high shipping prices. They usually charge anywhere between $50 and $100, so do look out for that. Anyways, I think that is pretty much it. Now, you otaku, you can go out and buy your anime figurines, whether it's a diverse collection of the anime characters you love and enjoy, or unique art that is not part of any actual anime or manga, or if you have a spicy shelf, waifus, husbandos, whatever you have on your shelf, I do not judge. But now you can go and get those figurines that you love and deserve. And so, with that, that is the end of this video. You have been enlightened in the way of anime figurines. And I hope you enjoyed. Please like, please subscribe, please share with friends and family that might also enjoy this content. It'll probably be more so friends than family, but please do share. Anyways, with that out, that's a wrap, and we will see you in the next video. And until then, hey-do!